Hello, everyone. This is Penny again from Holistic Liberty. Last night I was having some trouble sleeping. That doesn't happen to me all the time, although I will tell you that once upon a time ago, I used to have trouble sleeping all the time. I told you there's been many changes in my life. So I got up, grabbed my diary, and began to write my thoughts in my diary. I often do that. It often helps me to figure out things, figure out what's going on in my head that might be troubling me. But the one thing that gave me peace was I sat there for a moment and I said, I trust you. Now, who am I talking to? Some will say that I'm talking God. Some will say that I'm talking to the universe. Some will say that I'm talking to my higher self. Some my higher self, some Allah, or whatever they believe in. It doesn't matter. That's what I've discovered in my life. I was raised in a religious family, taught to believe what that particular religion believed. And there came a time that, like I said before, I literally went into a closet and prayed for truth. I still struggle trying to figure out what it is that I'm talking to, or who is. Some will say it's energy, the all. I believe that everything is energy, and I've often spoke, usually with Christians, saying, I don't know what this is. No, it's God. Okay, for you, it's God. I'll say everything is energy. No, it's God, and that's fine for you. That is fine for you if that's where you find your comfort. What I don't want to do in this channel, but for some reason for humans it seems so easy to do, is tell you what to think. I want to share my thoughts, hoping to resist telling you what to think. So it's so easy to start telling people what to think. But I want to share my thoughts. It doesn't mean you have to believe or think the same way. Maybe it'll enlighten you in some area, and maybe it'll enlighten you in the area that it's just not for you. I've had people share their thoughts with me, and I understand their thoughts. I don't agree with their thoughts. I try to understand, but it's just not for me. It's learning how to feel what's going on inside, and I'll do one on that later, because that's a very important part of discovering who you are. But before I get too far off the subject, what I want to do is just tell you, say God, if that's what feels right for you, or the universe, or the all, or Allah, or Buddha, your higher self, or if you're a total atheist and just you're not talking to anybody because they're not out there, but just yourself, your internal self, there is a feeling there. There is a sensation there, a connection there. Whatever you believe that connection may be. And if you're an atheist, that's fine. But if you can feel that connection, if you just allow yourself to open up and feel that connection, you don't have to believe it's God. You don't have to believe it's a creator. Just that connection is powerful. And I don't care what anybody tells me, because I'm going to go by what I have experienced. And that connection is powerful. And with that connection, often I get these, I don't know if you want to call them uploads. I think we label things for our own comfort to make it easier to explain. But these insights, and a lot of times I write these insights down, and these insights often will tell me something that's going to happen in the future. Now, I've learned from past mistakes to try not to interpret it, because I have interpreted it wrong. And then when something happens, people are like, "Yeah, you were so wrong on that." But the thing is I was right in what I felt. I was wrong in the interpretation of what I felt. So I just write what I feel now and try not to interpret it. Not too long ago, and I had written this down in my diary, and I had told Bill and others in my life, my boyfriend, that I felt through this connection there was going to be a great change in my life. And I mean huge. I decided not to interpret it, because I would have interpreted all wrong. I know I would have. But to just go by what I felt. And I knew this, that I didn't know what it was, so stop trying to interpret it. But I knew it was going to be a great change. And I knew when the time came that I was going to know this is it. And that I knew things were going to get worse before they got better. But I also knew that somehow in this great change, things were going to fall into place for me. And the things I've been praying for are going to come to fruition for as long as I hold on to the trust, and the trust in what I'm connected to, the trust in myself and my abilities. Regardless of the circumstances around. That's happened in my past too. And just before this whole stuff hit hard, I mean, I've heard of it at a distance, but it was like, yeah, whatever. I kept hearing June, June. And I'm not talking about my sister. I'm talking about the month, June, June, June. Things are about to crumble, but June, my eyes were going to be open to a whole new truth. Now, I didn't know the change was going to be worldwide. I really did not. I just knew there was going to be a change in my life, and it was going to affect others. And I thought it was going to affect others in my family. I didn't know it was going to be worldwide, to be honest. But the June is going to be a greater understanding. And the June, the month of June. And I'll be honest, sometimes I'm wrong in a month, and it's somewhere around that month when I have these, but I really feel June, at least in my life, it's going to fall into place. It's going to, because there's been things that are private to me right now that I've been wanting to change in my life, And I'm going to see that coming. This is somehow going to lead to that. But outside of my particular life, there will be kind of a cleansing in a way, kind of an understanding. Um, and I trust. And I got up last night and I said, look, when you told me to trust that things are going to get worse before they get better, and I didn't know how it's going to happen, but I'll know when it's happening. It happened. I mean, in a bigger way than I thought it was going to happen because I didn't know it was going to be worldwide. So I trust you. So when you're telling me not to be afraid and understand when I am, I have to remember to trust because things in my life, at least, are going to clear up in June. I trust you. And when you're telling me to make a video telling other people to trust in that connection, trust what this connection says to you, and to trust that in the long run, everything is going to be okay. I'm not saying people are not going to die. They will. And in the families that lose their loved ones, it will hurt. And I lost my husband back in 2013, and I wanted to die with him. If somebody had told me at that moment to trust, I'd have been like, ah! But in the long run, everything turned out okay. So I'm not saying tragic won't happen in your life. I'm not saying you're not going to lose a loved one. I don't know what's going to happen in your life. But I know that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how painful it gets, in the long run, you will be fine. Your family that survives this will be fine. And so I trust. I connect in my heart and I trust. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just telling you what I've received. And hopefully to help guide you to your inner muse. And that muse will introduce you to your